Parkinson's disease is actually generated because there are certain cells in the brain that degenerate with time. And these cells have certain vulnerabilities that makes them more sensitive to Parkinson's disease. So my work actually studied these vulnerabilities, so why these cells degenerate, and particularly I focus on mitochondria, which maybe you heard about this as the powerhouse of the cell. And what I focus on is how mitochondria is being defective in Parkinson's, and how can we find new therapies to improve the degeneration or to avoid the degeneration of these neurons. In Parkinson's, there is the degeneration of a particular set of neurons or cells in the brain. These cells that are more vulnerable to Parkinson's actually have a more high energetic need. And this energy is provided by the mitochondria. Maybe you've heard about this as the powerhouse of the cells, but basically these are cellular structures, so structures inside the cells that will dedicate to provide energy. Now, we can think about this as small power plants in a city. These small power plants, in the case of the cell, will be distributed in different neighborhoods, in different parts of the cell, to provide energy as it's needed. However, to produce this energy, these centrals of energy will require some materials to come from the center of the city, or in the case of the cell, the nucleus. So from the nucleus of the cell, or the center of the cell, actually, we will need to shuttle specific materials to sustain and maintain healthy production of energy. Something that can happen, or that is more, we can think about is like more challenging, when a center is far away from the center of the city, it's going to take more time, it's going to be more demanding, and this is something that is particularly relevant for Parkinson's, because Parkinson's cells, the cells that die in Parkinson's cells that are degenerating, actually are super long and needs a lot of energy. So my research actually studied how this communication between the center of the cell and the more far away extensions actually is functioning in general, and how it is defective in PD. My work in particular focused on understanding basic biology about the neurons that degenerate in Parkinson. By understanding how these work, how the neurons work, and how they do not work so well in the disease, what I hope to do is to find new mechanisms of the disease. And by understanding these mechanisms, what we can do in the future is actually design new therapies that will target these new mechanisms that we are finding. The support from the Parkinson Foundation has been fundamental from our work in many different ways. First off, from a scientific standpoint, I have access to a whole supportive scientific community of experts that actually work in Parkinson's disease, which is something that I didn't have before. It also provides economic support for my salary, also to buy different materials that we need, and to support my own growth by going to conferences and things like that. And then finally, I think that the most impactful thing that the foundation has given me, or like that being in the foundation gave me, is actually the contact with families and patients. I think that both as being a researcher, but also as being part of the committee that helps decide which other things are being funded, I've been in contact with people with Parkinson's, which has made a big change in the way I approach my research. So basic research, which means the research that tries to understand the basic biology, the basic mechanisms of a disease, actually provides new insights that allow us to then in the future develop new treatments. We have all of these because of basic research. Without basic research, these new and amazing treatments would not be available. And actually, I think that we are just at the moment in which things are coming through, right? So if we continue in this path, in the near future, we're gonna see really great advances in the prognosis of the disease. So first of all, thank you. This fellowship has given me not only economic support, but also an amazing community of scientists that are deeply, deeply committed to the research that we do and to the real impact of the research that we do. For my participation, not only as a scientist, but also as part of panels that evaluate other fellowships within the foundation, I can give testimony to the deep commitment of all of us in selecting and funding research that actually has a real impact into the life of patients. And your support actually gives us the possibility to have fellowships like mine and actually recruit the next generation of scientists that will continue the work that we do to improve the life of everyone.